Welcome everyone, welcome to another episode of Draugen. I'm Nevercraven, and let's continue on with this mystery story. Let's look a little bit around before we are going to go after Alice and see what she's up to right now. The view is still magnificent, and yes, there it is. The goat is again here. I'm beginning to think this goat is maybe the actual culprit in this game, because it's the second time we're seeing it. If we see you a third time, I know you're part of this. Alright, now let's continue on with Alice and see if we can figure out if the girl dropped, pushed, slipped or anything, if we can figure out what actually went on. Because so far it's all speculation, and we know that the Redlands thought that the brother
Lissie,
killed.
slow down. I can't keep up with you.
Well, the kid of the brother killed it.
Who knows what's up there? It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissie? Are you there?
Methinks you ran off again. It was only the first time, because back that one event late at night, when we woke up in the middle of the night, when she wasn't there, we didn't hear anything, we didn't see anything. Again, this is something that will collaborate my, let's say, confirm my suspicions about that Alice may not be real. But like I said, it's a theory, a flimsy one at that, because there is even more evidence that she's real than that she isn't. But I like to go out there with my theories, because if I'm right, it does make it feel a lot more worth it.
Teddy,
My word. Look away, Lissie.
is this what happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
It's one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
Ugh, this is just ghastly. What made him do this? How long has he been?
From the state of the body, perhaps a couple of weeks. Depends on temperature and humidity, of course.
Okay. So someone killed themselves, or they were hanged? What's on this chest? Does it say? Is it guilty again?
What does that say?
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother drowned
Don't.
herself?
Ooh.
Sorry. Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the hanged man before she died, and it scared her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact.
So true. So true. You can say what you want about Teddy, but he does have a sound mind on his head, at least for now.
Who was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick. And he's too old to be Simon. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back. Let the poor soul rest in peace.
Does it look like he's resting in peace? You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. It's tragic, but really none of my concern.
Betty, always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else. What if that was me up there? Would you care then? All you do is obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect. Would you please just do this one decent deed? If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty.
Oh, that's low. Even for you. Yes, so I understand that he has some fixations when it comes to Betty. His sister is missing. But yeah, I think Alice is right. He does deserve at least something. Okay, so let's try to get him off there. Well, he does have a nice view while hanging out here. Oh well.
I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy. Edward. I know you can. You've been through much worse.
Okay, so what's gonna be the reason behind this hanging?
Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight,
They're not coming back.
perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened?
No, I'm not gonna assume murder until we know more. There's a lot of suspicious things here.
Penny for your thoughts?
Okay, my penny is an accident at first.
Perhaps she fell by accident.
So you don't think it was murder?
It's difficult to say with any certainty. The boy could have pushed her.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
Alright. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck. I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking.
Alright, I will try and keep that in mind. Alright, can we get off? Yeah, thank you. As in from the table. Not suggesting anything else. Okay, so let's look around before we head over to the couch for sleep. And I do agree with Alice. You might as well pick a bed, because it's the second day. They aren't still here. We could at least try and make themselves comfortable. I'm pretty sure they'd understand.
What did you find?
Someone tried to burn this.
Just like the book. Isn't that odd?
It's addressed to Mrs. Fretland. My dearest Anna. It's from her sister, Margaret. Frederick's wife. The two brothers married sisters, remember?
Yes, and it's adorable. Keep reading.
I really shouldn't.
Really? How else are we going to figure out what happened? Keep reading.
Yeah,
My dearest
gossip!
Anna, I miss you so very, very much. The baby is due soon, and I wish for our family to reunite before... It's been 7 years since the dreadful incident at the mine. Can we not convince Frederick and Johann to forgive and forget? I know there are things Frederick has not told me about what they found and why they parted ways. Their grudge is tearing us all apart. Frederick won't even let me speak to half of our neighbors, accusing them of treason. He's so very angry and full of regrets. It's eating him up. And we...
And we what?
The rest is unreadable.
Margaret reached out to her sister, but I guess it didn't work.
This was written before Simon was born, but burned recently.
Okay. So, this is a strange thought, but also another theory. What if the brother murdered everyone in town because they thought they were all traitors? It is out there, but it is still a possibility. But let's put a pin in that and think about that later, because for now, it's time to go to bed. Let's see if you want to talk some more.
I really thought I'd find Betty today.
I told you not to get your hopes up, Edward. I mean, we just got here. It's a big place. She could be anywhere.
It's just the thought of her alone out there in the dark.
She's a tough cookie. Your Betty. Tougher than you, teddy bear.
That she is.
Alright. So, which door to the couch? Or are we going to see some more weeping angels in front of the windows? Is this still the same one? Seeing as no response, I intend to see it as a confirmation. Okay. Ruth?
Do you think Simon killed Ruth?
It's not important what I think.
I don't know what to believe. Sometimes children do monstrous things.
So do adults sometimes. The only thing with children is that it's more of a reaction thing, more emotional. Let's continue. We need more info, that's for sure.
It's almost painful to look at this photograph now. Their whole world fell apart. Oh, I can't bear to think about it. Now that we know what happened to Ruth, this empty house is even spookier.
It's a house, nothing more.
You know better than most that souls can linger. Especially if they died.
There's no such thing as a soul.
Life force. Ghost. Whatever. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
The only ghosts are in our minds.
Says you.
Still, if you see something, you gotta give it a name, even if it is just the memory.
The two brothers married twin sisters, Anna and Margaret Taylor. That's the Grovik stave church behind them.
All those hopes and dreams, ground to dust by misfortune.
Well, hopefully we can go past the church tomorrow, since we haven't been there yet. Still the same thing? Yeah, still the same articles.
These headlines make more sense now. Johann sells his share, and the cave-in occurs shortly thereafter, killing 3 people.
Including the younger brother.
The investor pulls out, leaving Frederick with the bills.
Oh, I feel awful for everyone. Losing a brother, losing the business.
There were no happy endings here.
Yeah, and of course, more importantly, losing family. Alright. Okay, I want to look at the... Why didn't they just bring... Oh, there it is. Exactly what I was thinking. Place the head, and in the end we have an entire fully fleshed out character of his sister.
What are you doing?
Betty will want these back.
I don't think it's healthy.
Not now, please. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, she might see this as he trying to rebuild his sister. Because there are still so many things we do not know. So many opportunities, so many possibilities. That could be true. So much story.
You do look exhausted. Go to bed, Edward. I'll tuck you in.
The ghost in the mirror. Nah. It's not a ghost, not yet. But who knows? We still have
Quite the day, huh?
plenty of story to go.
Ready to pass out. Where will you sleep?
Oh, I'll be up for a while. My mind's simply racing.
Don't stay up late. Wake me if you hear the Fretlins arriving.
Of course. And I'll keep my eyes open for any ghosts that might want to haunt you in your sleep.
There are no...
Hush now. Sleep.
We're more fitting if she goes to the burger than like, ooh, ooh, a ghost. But no. She's bad, not that bad. Day 3. Still, no Fredlands. Is it morning or... Let's have a little look outside. Yeah, it looks early, but it is morning. Can you imagine we're gonna look inside that mirror later on and there's a totally different face in there or something? I see so much opportunities for increasing the mystery. Let's have a look around, see if Alice is already up. Well, I hear her walking, so she might just as well be outside. Or in the kitchen.
Betty? Is that you? I'm upstairs.
Oh, yes, we are allowed in the kitchen now. Ah, I want an extra room. Alright, let's go see what Lissie is doing upstairs. Hopefully she's cleaned the bathroom after having slept and took care of herself. Because we need to leave the place nice and tidy. If the Fredlands ever get here. Ooh. This is a small bed. Very small. I've seen this in the museums here in Holland as well. Like where people from very, very long time ago, like the 1920s, 30s, slept in. And people were smaller back then, or they know how to handle their room. Turn the page. I can't read this, maybe. Oh no, this is way too much of a text to read for now. But this does look like some sort of diary. But let's leave it for now. If we need anything, more information to solve something from the mystery, we can always go back and read it. The Draugen worlds. Like we've learned, it's already 2 streams ago? I don't know. Draugen means dragon, so this is the Dragon Waltz. Yeah, we're not gonna listen to it the entire time, but that sounds pretty good. That's it? I thought it was gonna be longer. Ah well. That's our cultural segment for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feeling a little bit more cultural here. Ooh, draw in the middle of the house. Oh, yeah, that would be a logical thing. Drawing such an antique bed in there. Well, it's now antique. Back then, where this story is playing at the 1920s, it should be reasonably normal, maybe more than that even. Oh well, I just want to see the drawing. Let's see what he end up making. Pretty good, pretty good. I was hoping for a little bit more things surrounding it. Like the whole pattern on the wall or something, the door. But it was a decent enough rendition of what it is. Oh, Ruth's room. No. We're gonna leave that for last because I'm almost 100% certain that the game wants us to go there. Just to learn a little bit more about Ruth. Feeling a little bit more sympathy about the girl not being here anymore. Maybe get some enthusiasm in Teddy to also look out for that, what happened, where the villages are, and not only keeping hyper focus on finding Elizabeth. It is thoroughly locked. I am now wondering what's in that locked room, because if we can get in there, there might be something worth finding. But this game has one thing going for itself, and that is you cannot do anything unless the game wants you to. So let's leave it for now. Hopefully we'll get a hint later from our dear old Alice to break that door down, making Teddy even more unstable and maybe a little bit criminal by breaking an entry into the actual house you have basically trespassed in, because they were not here, they did not give you permission, so... Oh, all the drawings, dollies.
This is her room.
Hmm?
Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then... nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic. I'll help you look. There's still no sign of the Fretlands.
Maybe they left town after Ruth died.
What's the point of this? I should be looking for Betty.
I hate you sometimes.
Yeah, but remember one thing. We came here after writing a letter that we were coming here. So them going on vacation would be totally illogical. They should be here, especially if Betty is here somewhere as well. Unless something actually happened. That's what we need to find out. So I am agreeing with you, Alice. Daddy needs to rip that stick out of his ass and start investigating everything, because it's all connected.
Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8. This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle. Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
Yeah, you can say what you want. Even if she's 8, she did actually try to get some depth of field in there. So that's pretty impressive for an 8-year-old.
She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
A cave. Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
something important enough to draw.
Maybe we should go to the mine as well. We do have to convince Teddy that there is some worth in going there, because he didn't want to cross that threshold before.
That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear. She made her bed that morning. Before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you like this today? Betty's not the only person in the world that matters.
She matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth?
Ooh. I think Alice feels like Daddy isn't spending enough time with her. Only focusing a little bit too much on Betty. Which is, of course, true. He's a little bit over zealous.
Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
For Banelson. The curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew. It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out.
Okay. I've seen enough horror movies to see that if someone says a box is cursed, don't open it.
Don't you want to open the box?
Even if a child says so, just don't take any chances. But we need to for the story. I'm taking chances, you guys, that show you
What
don't
is
have to.
this?
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. They belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
This is where it came from. Her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
If we're to believe her drawing, perhaps the mine. She may have found a gravesite. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things.
Well, I could also formulate
There's a story.
another theory about that.
The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
She didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic
This
events.
is what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
Church bell. Someone's here. Maybe Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble. I need to get to the church right now.
Wait, isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night? We should be
I told
careful.
you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to think about all of this.
Yeah, again, so much focus on this Betty. There's so much other possibilities. And in regard to what I was just saying about another theory about Ruth, she is just draw that the thing is cursed. Could it be that she found the treasure, then the mine collapsed, all the issues became revealed with their family, the fighting between brothers because of the death of the younger brother, him calling traitors, the entire situation that she thinks the box was cursed because she found it before it all happened, and maybe she did just blame herself, and it was an accident. She actually tried to kill herself because if she's responsible for everything that happened in the family, that could be a valid theory. But let's again, let's keep it in mind and let's continue on, because the more evidence, the more story we get, the more we can get a more better idea of what's going on here.
Do you see anyone?
They must be inside the church.
Okay, so that means we need to go to the church. That's for sure. There's no one standing, no extra open doors or anything. Alright. Let's get out there and try to find who the hell is ringing that bell. Okay, I think this is a very nice place to leave it. I think we're gonna look into the church the next video. I stream too much lately. I switched up words. Alright guys, so next time we're gonna go to the church, we're gonna see who's ringing the bell, and let's see if we can get Teddy to stop being so dismissive about the entire situation with Ruth, because it is worth investigating. But that's gonna be next time. So, as always, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. Until next time, my ravens. Bye bye.